we could do it like the Budweiser Bullfrogs.
The Beardsmen.
The
Beardsmen. Literally ask us
If
anything.
you want some dating advice, JR has you covered.
On lock. I mean, look at the shirt.
Yep.
Look at the shirt.
Look at me. Welcome to the Beardsmen, where we talk, mock, and never walk away from the conversation. I'm here in the studio with the founders of Live Bearded, a.k.a. the Beardsmen, Spencer and Anthony.
The
Beardsmen.
The
Beards.
Man.
The
Beards.
Man.
Maybe one of the best commercials ever.
that and
What's up, guys? My name is Spence.
I'm Anthony, and man, it's good here to be with you guys today. Like JR said, we're the crazy kids behind Live Bearded, and we started this show because as founders, we've had the privilege of having conversations with literally thousands of men over the last 7 years, and it's our favorite thing to do. So we started this show to answer your questions and have a conversation about being a man in the world today.
That's right, guys. We're passionate about supporting and encouraging men to be the best versions of themselves that they can be. And this format is pretty straightforward. This is an ask us anything, literally. There's nothing off the table here, whether it's personal development, mindset, business, lifestyle, fitness, beard stuff, LB. Literally ask us anything.
If you want some dating advice, JR has you covered.
On lock. I mean, look at the shirt.
Yep.
Look at the shirt.
Look at me.
You guys, we're going to answer a couple questions every week.
Yep.
And then we got this cool Do Better Dude at the end of the show. So stay tuned.
All right.
If they have questions, how do they get hold of us?
Yeah, if you have questions for the show, be sure to email us at ask@livebearded.com, or you can comment your questions below in the video. We can get it that way too. But send us an email because, then you can actually talk to us a little bit better than a comment on a YouTube video.
How you boys doing today? What's going on? What's new?
Man, just got back from a nice little vacation in Hawaii.
Ooh, you're looking extra tan.
I didn't know you could get more
Can he
tan.
get any darker? How many shades of mink are there?
This is why you're on the other side of the table, because your complexion
We got to light it
would not
differently.
work.
We got to light it differently over here.
do. Ours is like a pink hue. Yours is just like tan.
I don't know why, but I get more random comments about my tan than maybe anything else. Like, dude, why are you so tan? Are you faking bacon? Is that real? I'm like, I live in Arizona. I go outside as often as I can, and I'm a beach boy at heart, so I go to the beach every chance I get. Yeah, man, so I just got back from Maui. It was amazing. Just spent 5, 6, 7 days in a hammock on the beach.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Were you injured? Like you were in the hammock for 5 or 6 days. Are you
Yeah.
okay?
I guess there was more to the trip than that. I did some hiking. I worked out every day. I ate my
I didn't know if
ass
you just had a
off.
coma
That was it.
or
That was
something.
just-
I was in a food coma every afternoon in a hammock.
That makes
basically.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've
Vacation
been
diet.
there.
Vacation diet's a thing.
Usually I'm really strict with what I eat, just personal preference, discipline, etc. But this time I was like, you know what? I've been so disciplined. I'm cutting loose. I'm going full vacation mode. And I ate, here's, guys, this is very important. Okay. Vacation diet is summed up this way. Eat whatever the fuck you want.
I get down with that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I'm always down with that.
Yeah.
but
And when you want it.
Exactly. When you
Yeah.
want it. Yep.
when you want it, right now.
Yeah.
What is your splurging diet though? Like when
Oh,
you were
man.
there, it's like, what do
I-
you keep yourself from eating?
I am like I've got a sweet tooth like you wouldn't believe. Growing up, my mom, my grandma, like everybody had cookies, ho-hos, ding-dongs, fresh baked this, cake that. So I had, there's this place called Monkey Pot. I had strawberry cream pie. They have these amazing
World-class strawberry
They
cream
have these
pie.
amazing ice cream sandwiches, but they're made with like these huge cookies, and it's like all local sourced ingredients. So I get like a few of those. There's this chocolate cream pie that has like creme brulee on the bottom.
and this is your vacation food.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you
This is
hit
all
us.
vacation.
It's just
food. Yeah,
Tuesday night
Acai
treat.
bowls for sure every day. What else did I have while I was there?
I'm getting hungry, guys.
Yeah,
So you treat yourself to like all the carbs and sugar.
dude.
that
Not normally this much, but I just fucking
Full hound mode.
full hound mode.
Full
I ordered a pizza twice. I never eat pizza. I had pizza twice because we went to Maui
Dang.
Bruco,
Oh, yeah.
and anyways, I didn't see really anything on the menu that I wanted. They had this pizza that was like Kailua pork or something. It was like but it was like made with guava. It was like a guava pork. And I was like, that sounds really good. And then as the added ones, or the extras, they had jalapeno bacon and chicken.
Ooh.
So this pizza had
Loaded.
like a marinara sauce. It had
chicken, pork,
and bacon.
All the protein. There's protein. It's all the
pineapple.
protein. Yeah.
Pineapple.
Fruit. Yeah, fruit.
So
Yeah.
it was literally.
I like pineapple on pizza. I don't know why
Pineapple
people.
with the jalapeno, the sweet and spicy combination.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was the best
I get
pizza
down
I
with
had
that.
ever.
Okay.
And I was like,
do they deliver to Arizona?
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
So
We might be able to do freight or something.
We'll look into that. We'll get Dusty on it.
you know what? I think last episode you mentioned doing a show on location.
You did
So I
mention.
think we should just hit the brewery up, be like, hey, we want to come do a show on location. We'll promote your beer, Maui Brew Co.
Maui Brew Co. If you're listening, let us know. Get
Yep.
in touch.
And
We'll drink it all.
We'll drink it. We'll eat the pizza. We'll give you. We'll channel our inner Dave Portnoy.
There we
Give
go.
our pizza review.
Our rating.
And
How would you rate the pizza?
I'm not a pizza connoisseur.
Okay.
So I just got to go on record and say that. And I
But
think
on
it
the
was
Mink
probably,
standards-
probably one of the best pizzas I've ever had.
Okay.
I had it twice. Literally
Yeah.
the last day, I was like, I could go here or I could go here. I could go here.
That's saying something.
But I'm gonna go get that pizza because I'm never gonna eat. I'd never eat
Vacation
pizza
diet
at
ends
home.
tomorrow. Gotta get it in.
The pizza was so good it made him buffer. Like his brain literally stopped for a second. He's like,
Yeah.
it was so good.
Yeah.
Processing.
Processing,
process all the
processing.
sugar.
It was good. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I know this is like quite the controversy.
I don't know why
think
it's a
yes. To me, I
controversy,
think
though.
yes. To me, yes. But I like it better with jalapeno because the spice and the sweet balance and give it a nice little.
See, I've had
combination.
that. I'm not a huge fan of it. It is good,
Yeah.
but that's not like my go. It's like, oh yeah, I ate that once. It was
with
good.
the jalapeno.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
jalapeno.
Pineapple's good. It's sweet. It's delicious. It's fine on pizza.
I think anybody who doesn't like it is weird.
They are weird.
That or they're just trying to like
Well,
position
look,
themselves.
They could even not like it. That's fine. If you're not a fan of pineapple and you don't like it on the pizza, that's fine. But if you're one of
take
those
that defensive stance.
weird people, they're like, you can never have pineapple on
You have
pizza.
a pineapple on pizza. Like,
like,
you
why
can-
do you care that much about pizza?
Dude, in America, we do donuts and for buns of burgers. Like, why can't we put pineapple on a pizza?
Great
like,
question.
Yeah, I mean, how many other fruit goes in breaded things? You know, it's like you got
Danishes?
apple, you got all these
This
different
food
things.
topic is
Yeah.
killing me.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. All right. You know what? Let's dive into what people really want to talk about.
Taylor Swift, is that what they want to talk about?
Actually, yes, it is. That is one of the first questions that we got from the
Oh,
community.
Taylor
Gosh.
Swift.
I
Swifties.
saw this one ahead of time. So.
Yeah. From Mike, what do you think of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and the NFL and the whole situation with that? That's verbatim the quote.
Yeah, the whole situation.
But because it is a whole situation, like it's not really like you can't really ask why, because I mean they're both attractive people, so like that makes sense. But like the whole craziness that came from it, like NFL views spiked. Taylor got a whole
It's
mess
just-
of new fans.
It's crazy how loyal these Swiftie fans are. And like I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I mean, but from what I've seen and heard,
I don't know, bro. You just said Swifty. I've never heard anybody say that before. That's
Never heard about Swifties?
dude.
Bro.
Come
you
on,
know,
man.
Swifty.
Look, here's
It's like a term.
You don't get Swifty. You don't have a love story.
I go ahead.
No,
Go
but
ahead.
just it's wild to me the influence that she has over
Yeah.
this tribe or community of people. I mean, literally 400%. I don't know the quotes. 400% lift in viewership, the most watched regular season game in history. There's some crazy stats being thrown around. It's wild that she could literally just participate, and then her followers can now be into football, now buy merch, now want to support that with no connection or relevance or interest in football. It's just because she's doing it, they want to do it or support it. That's
Yeah.
fucking mind blowing.
I think there's
Yeah.
a word for that. Cult.
I was thinking it.
Well, you did say tribe.
That's a tribe.
Tribe.
It's like
No,
one
I-
slight
look,
deviation from.
So I've heard a few comments about this. My news feed has been filled up with fucking all this shit about it. I'm like, I don't give a about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But what is fascinating is she's got 274 million followers.
Are you one of them?
No,
Not yet.
no. Out of principle, no.
I'm not either. I don't.
But my point is, okay, so there's like 330 million Americans, right? So she's got a very international
Worldwide,
audience,
yeah.
which is amazing. But what's more amazing is, can you guess what the NFL's following is?
Less than that.
Is it 100 million?
No,
Oh,
28.
28 million. Oh, it's
28
tiny.
million.
10% of what her following is, basically. So she's 10 times
How is there only
bigger.
20?
So you're saying the
Than the
NFL
NFL.
paid Taylor
Yeah,
Swift to come to their
Well,
game?
and this is also like the NFL Instagram page. I'm just talking
Okay.
about Instagram. So Taylor Swift Instagram,
Got it.
NFL Instagram.
Not aggregates of teams.
But
and
yeah,
all that.
then there's like all the different teams. I didn't fucking care enough to like add up all the teams. But
That'd be a lot.
yeah, like what's the biggest?
Yeah.
The biggest team in the NFL is
I
probably
mean,
the
I
Dallas
can't-
Cowboys.
Cowboys have a pretty big following.
Let's see what theirs
the
is.
Steelers might.
Steelers might be up there.
The
Cow-
Eagles might.
but the Cowboys are 4.6. So
I imagine like most NFL teams got to be in that
Steelers-
like 5 to 7 million range, right?
yeah. Actually, I should be able to speak about this pretty well. My very first business was a sports business where I had fan pages for NFL teams. The
million.
Steelers are 3.5.
Eagles are 3 million.
Yeah, so I
that's
guarantee you
marked
they're
up.
probably all under 5 million. So collectively 32 times 5 is 150 million. Let's call it 160 million ish.
Yeah, so that's the,
Right? So guaranteed combined, she's double the size of the NFL. Or not maybe not double, but like
Significantly larger.
70% bigger.
Yeah.
So to your
She's
point,
huge.
to your point,
Huge.
the fact that she's had that big of influence blows my mind from a business standpoint.
Well, like I would get it if she was saying like something relevant to music or fashion
Yeah.
or something, but
She's
you're talking
just
about
watching
a
from a fucking
completely
box.
different. I mean,
Yeah, and the rumor is that like her and Travis are like dating or something like that. And the thing that makes me so mad is like Swiftie fans are like, "Wow, Travis Kelce was nobody until Taylor Swift came into his life." I was like, "Shut up, no."
I mean, he was a Super Bowl dude. Him and his brother have
He's
have
definitely
a
one
show
of the-
on Amazon Prime. He's one of the top
Yeah.
NFL
Yeah.
players for sure.
One of the top tight ends. He's
But
up there.
I heard someone say this, which was like, he should enjoy it while it lasts because even though he's a top athlete, she's a fucking billionaire, and like it's as different as like someone who makes $5,000 or $500,000, and they were like that paradigm over time, like it's gonna be rough, and they basically were taking a very pessimistic approach, and they were like, she's going to have fun with this dude, and then she's going to turn around and go find some billionaire somewhere else that's on the same level because she's flying in private. He might be flying first class or small private. She's flying fucking jumbo jets. And eventually, she's not going to want to bring her lifestyle down to meet where he can participate.
Yep.
I don't know how that shit works, but
the Chiefs franchise is definitely happy for this move.
Yes.
They got to be crushing it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think there's
Chiefs
a whole
love this.
I think there's a whole new marketing strategy that's being ideated
Yeah.
in professional sports leagues. Hey, who are our best looking dudes? Hey, can you go do the lover boy method on her and her?
Yeah,
Bring
let's
him
see.
in.
Who's
We
the
need some
next one?
eyeballs on our franchise.
Yeah,
Let's see.
like-
Dua Lipa is going to get hit up next. Like, hey, Dua Lipa, can you just like say that you're like dating this one NFL player?
Who are the?
Are you going to Google?
Hey
who-
Siri, what are the top Instagram accounts of all time? Let's find out. Okay, so Cristiano Ronaldo, number 1, Selena Gomez, Beyonce, Kim Kardashian. Actually, this isn't in order. Let me find one that's in order.
Okay, I was going to say like Ronaldo.
Ronaldo's
That one
nice.
makes sense because soccer, for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's amazing.
huge.
Soccer and
I don't
Messi.
think he's going to date an NFL player anytime soon.
No.
No.
We gotta find the women.
If he
all
did
right?
though, man,
The world
he'd
would
make
break.
headlines.
Actually, we should think about this in reverse. Like
who's the smallest account?
what? Like women's sports. I love that there's professional women's sports, but if we're being honest, the viewership
Yeah, it's fresh.
is like a fraction of men's sports, right? So what men
I will
should
say-
women try to like get with to garner some
I will say I will watch. Or I really wish for March Madness that they did the women's tournament like either before or after the men's. Because I mean, like, I would still watch March Madness with a thing because
Yeah.
the whole fun of it is like making bets and like guessing who's gonna
Yeah,
win.
the upsets, the underdog
Yeah.
stories. Yeah.
Like I would still do that with
before
the
would
girls.
make more sense.
So
Once the
Cristiano
men are done,
Like,
you're like,
why are you making a different issue? Sorry,
Okay.
let's go back.
Cristiano Ronaldo 608 million.
fuck.
Wow.
Messi is where's Messi? 476 million. That's insane. Selena Gomez, I don't know if she's single, but 431 million. She's way bigger than Taylor Swift.
Holy cow.
Selena Gomez, really?
What did she do to
Yeah.
get so much attention?
She did
I have no
the
idea.
Disney show, and then she did some music. but she didn't do as much music as Taylor Swift. or
Kylie
anything.
Jenner's 396,
So she's bigger than
396 million.
Kylie Jenner's famous because of her sister.
The Rock is at 386.
Yeah,
Ariana Grande, 376. Kim
Wow.
Kardashian, 364.
There you go.
Beyonce, 313. Man, Taylor Swift needs to step her game up. Khloe Kardashian is at 310.
I will say, but what's the loyalty of her following? Because this
Oh.
Swift thing is
It's
like
incredible.
unreal.
All
from what I've
of
seen.
the Kendall Jenner is at freaking 292. The Kardashians.
It's the Kardashian family.
Oh my, they
like
have
the
like
aggregates like
billions.
right?
Yeah.
yeah.
In
crazy.
terms
All of
of the biggest fan pages, our biggest pages followed, right? Because this had Instagram in there, had National Geographics in there.
Okay.
Like Taylor Swift is the 15th largest account on all of Instagram, but is the second most influential person on Twitter as well.
All right, guys, we have some ground to make up here, so follow us at Live Bearded. We got a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah.
Share it. Tell your friends and family. We need a little help.
Yeah,
there.
we're at 74.3 thousand.
Yeah, and sorry if we hurt your brain to be yet another person talking about Taylor Swift, but from a business standpoint,
Yeah.
it's fucking fascinating
Yeah.
what she has done. And to think the NFL is an institution in the U.S., right? And you look at that institution, and that was magnified 2, 3, 4 times by one singer and her social following
And one game,
tribe.
right? It was just one game.
Yeah.
so far,
So-
right?
One, it was one publicity stunt,
Yeah.
if you will, which was the game. They filmed her, the announcers talked about her, and that was it. It just blew up.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right.
All
Keep
right.
it moving.
What's
Yep.
the next question?
Moving on to the next question. This question is from Jeremy. Could you provide tips on choosing the right beard style that complements one's face shape and how to maintain that style with regular trimming and shaping? This is a very, very well worded question.
You got a beard question in the
Beard
house. What do you
question.
think,
Yeah.
Spence? You're the resident expert.
Oh man,
How
All
do you
right.
find your beard shape?
I think ultimately it comes down to trial and error and finding what style fits your face the best. It gives you the most confidence, right? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you could say if your face is more round and you got chubbier cheeks, like slim out the sideburns and cheek areas so they're not puffing out to make your face appear slimmer. That definitely helps and works. But at the end of the day, you really just need to find what length you look at yourself in the mirror and say, that's a sexy motherfucker. Like, I love this fucking, you know what I mean? Like, find the
Yeah.
look that you're like, I fucking love the way that I feel. I feel fucking masculine. I feel whatever it is. Like, if it's longer, if it's shorter, find what works for you. I know Mink, you rocked a long beard for a while, and then you're like, what the fuck? I wish somebody would have told me that I don't look so good with the super long beard. And you found a lot of confidence in your shorter length.
I call it my beard life crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know what I wanted, and so I just let it grow out. We were living in Colorado in the fucking mountains, snowboarding
Made
on the
sense.
weekends.
Yeah.
Like, I just let it go. And then I saw a couple pictures of myself, and I was like, what is wrong with me? No, I think for me, like, if you want a new hairstyle, what do you typically do? You look at,
Pictures, find some examples.
What exactly? So when I started growing out my hair, that's what I did. I found a picture of someone. I was like, I really like that hair. I think it might look good on me. Same thing with beard. I think the best thing to do is to find examples of beards that you really like, and maybe someone who has similar features as you do facially. Like, you know, if you've got a rounder face, find a guy that's got a rounder face. If you've got a slimmer,
Or
blah,
hair
blah, blah.
types or textures, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So,
Yeah.
but to me, that's the easiest thing to do is find something that you want to model or aspire to be. I know, Spence, a lot of people come into the HQ here and they're like, dude, your mustache was my inspiration
Yeah.
for growing out this one.
Yeah.
It's like, that's
Fine.
cool.
find something
Like,
to model. Yeah.
so that's what I did ultimately is I was like, I look fucking terrible with this giant big beard. I just can't grow it. It doesn't suit me. And so I started to look for inspiration and I started to go narrower and narrower. And, you know, now it's like, do I want more of a rounded chin or do I want more of a point? Like,
Yeah.
and, you know, you can start to like play with it and whatnot. But to me, the right beard style is the one that makes you look in the mirror and, as Spence said, think I'm fucking sexy.
Yeah.
And also, I think it helps to have some. I mean, it's sometimes hard to look at yourself in the mirror and not like pull yourself away from it enough because when you're growing it out, you don't realize it's not like overnight you have this long beard. It's like super gradual, slow process, and you get used to seeing yourself that way. So take pictures, ask loved ones, probably not your mom or your grandma, but like reach out to us and we'll give you some like real advice. Don't try to force a beard. If you have thinner cheeks, maybe rock a Van Dyke or a goatee or a different style that complements the hair that you can grow. Don't force it because everybody else has a, you know, somebody else has a big beard.
That's
like,
a really good point. I think the way that your beard grows should support the way that you style it, or the
100%.
way that you style it should support the way that your beard
How
grows.
your beard grows.
Like
yeah.
for me, the reason why I don't think I could grow like a really good big beard is because my beard isn't super thick. So the longer it got, the more raspy and kind of like thin it looked. Where some dudes that have really thick beards, they can fucking shape this hedge and they can keep it looking the way that they want. But if you have a thinner beard, then you just have less options with how you can style it. So you got to work with that constraint. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, everyone's got these really unique quirks with their beard. Like every beard's different. It's like your thumbprints and everything. I kind of have like the same deal going on. Like when this grows out, it can sometimes get like wispy and everything. But I found like, you know, just trimming it back a little bit helps to keep the shape nice. But I think you got to spend at least like 3 months growing your beard and then like getting the trimmers and just kind of like starting with very little cuts everywhere just to like find the shape that works.
And it could take years before you really truly find a style that you love, right? It really can, and that's part of the process. But lean into it, have some patience. If you have any questions, hit us up, and we're happy to give you some feedback on our thoughts. But ultimately, find what works for you.
Yeah, join the Live Bearded Brotherhood.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
Yeah, on Facebook.
Yeah, we got a Facebook group. We got 28,000 guys there. We're sharing and supporting each other in there. You're definitely welcome to join. And you can hit us up at support@livebearded.com with your questions. Send pictures. We'll give you advice. Jump on the phone. Happy to support you guys.
Buy Live Bearded. A little plug for it.
this is not an ad, but
is not an
buy
ad.
our shit.
Yeah, it's not an ad, but
it will help you grow a better
great.
beard.
Yeah.
55,000 5-star reviews.
But only 70,000 followers. So again, share.
Any other plugs for Live Bearded?
No, what's the next
No,
one?
we're good.
All right. Actually, no, just joking.
I know. I was waiting. All right. Next question we have is from Nate. What is the most impactful book you've ever read?
Ooh.
The Bible.
Just one? Just one. Impactful.
All right,
like
you
the
go
most.
first.
No, the Bible's not the most impactful book I read.
All right.
It does shed a lot
Blasphemy.
of... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. It's not a great book. Anyone who's read the Old Testament should be horrified. It is... Yeah, go ahead. Read the Old Testament. It's the most violent, graphic, awful thing ever. Skip Deuteronomy and Leviticus. Those are just law chapters. Those don't matter. I've really examined
Have you read
the
it
Bible. Oh, yeah.
front to back?
Yeah.
I've never read it
front to back.
Yeah.
I've read it twice. Old Testament is still the worst. It's the worst. Genesis, Exodus is like cliff notes of like 6,000 years. And then the rest of like laws is in the middle. It's boring. And then everything else is like history just repeats itself, but it's written by different historians. So each account's got a slightly different variation.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Way too much
I don't have to read
information.
it now. I appreciate you. I just
There
got
you
the cliff
go.
notes.
Yeah. Go check out what is it? Temple with the Jews. All right. I don't know if they'll recite it in Yiddish or whatever language it is they speak, but I mean the Old Testament's fascinating, but
Yeah.
it's a terrible book.
One book is tough because I feel like I've read so many. I don't know, Spence, do you?
I think for me, it's really tough to pick one because also depending on the stage of life you're in, sometimes books will just hit differently. And at that moment, it could be the perfect book.
Yeah.
And I've got examples of that. Like,
I'm gonna tweak it. What's the book that you have reread or referenced the most? Because that's an indicator of favorite book or biggest impact. As I was trying to answer the question, that's what I asked myself because that's the only frame I could think of. And I can tell you that As a Man Thinketh, I just have that book on my little desk where I read or where I journal, and it just sits there and it never leaves. And I'll just open it up and read a chapter or two. It's like 55 pages. It's super smart or super short. It's like written in 1900. You can get a free copy online. Literally just type As a Man Thinketh PDF. It's out of print because it's so fucking old. There's no like copyright on it anymore.
Woo, free stuff.
That's one of them.
and that one's fantastic. I will say that's one you can open up, highlight a few pages, read a chapter every single day and still consume the content, and it's still going to apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love The Four Agreements.
Yep.
I've reread that one a few times. Just really simple, timeless principles.
Yep.
The first agreement, be impeccable with your word. Simple.
Yep.
The second agreement is don't take things personally. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. And then the fourth agreement is always do your best.
Yep.
And he goes in and adds a lot of
Explain,
context
yep.
to it. So it's just such good stuff. One book that has had a really big impact on my life is The Surrender Experiment.
I was going to mention that one.
Yeah.
Michael Singer.
We talked about this on previous episodes,
Yep.
but the general premise is surrendering or letting go of our biases and preferences oftentimes life or God or grace or the universe, whatever your belief system is, has a much bigger plan for you than you could ever imagine yourself. And it's your biases that are stopping that bigger plan from unfolding. So we got to kind of get out of our own way.
Yeah.
Beautiful examples.
I remember
of
reading that when we kind of started Live Bearded, and we were moving into Maui, and life was just changing so quickly, and there's a lot of uncertainty into the future. But that book really, the timing of that book, that's what I was going to say. Like, when you read a book in the time, it just hits differently. And that one for me hit deep because the amount of transition and surrendering into this next chapter, into launching Live Bearded and kind of the unknown that was coming ahead.
I love The
agree.
Alchemist.
I've read the story.
I've read The
It's a good
Alchemist
story.
a few times, and I just love that idea of your own personal legend and leaning into, and that's a good example of like shit happens and he almost gave up and he kept going. It's like that very traditional like hero's journey.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, recent read that we went through, Unreasonable Hospitality. That one is arguably one of the better books I've read in a while. For anyone who's listening that's in any sort of service, honestly, any business, any person should just read this book. It's how to create wow experiences, go above and beyond to create just such an unbelievable experience with the brand. He's a restaurant. Basically, I don't want to spoil it, but he turns a restaurant around, makes it the #1 restaurant in the world, and it's a fantastic read. So I'd highly recommend that. One of the stories that the Shoe Dog, Phil Knight's story. Shoe Dog. I listened to that on Audible. It's like 13 hours. I literally listened to it from the drive from Colorado to Arizona straight with no break. And I stopped and finished the book when I got home, even after the long drive, because I had to finish the story. It was a fascinating story. That was really, really good.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, there's, again, I think books, depending on the time of your life and kind of what you need to hear.
Yeah, two very like books. I don't know how to say it otherwise. Like just fucking get your shit together books. Relentless by Tim Grover.
Oh, yeah.
I've reread that a couple
That's
times. Tim Grover was Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade's trainer.
Yep.
And he's kind of what allowed, I think, Jordan to develop some of the strength to get to the next level. But amazing author, but Relentless is really good. And then I'm just a big fan of David Goggins and Can't Hurt Me.
His first one's
book.
so fucking good. I couldn't put that down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goggins is good.
He's good. I have nothing against Goggins. He's such a meme though.
Yeah. Jesse Itzler, Living with the Seal.
Yeah.
That it has Goggins living with him. Burpee test, motherfucker. That's fucking great. Jesse Itzler's actually a stud. He has a lot of really cool content. He's doing some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a really good kind of story-based, still inspiring. I still love extreme ownership. I think the accountability and just like taking ownership. I know you say it all the time. Your life is your fault. It's part of the ETN. And it's so true. And I think so many people refuse to take ownership of shit and play the victim mentality. And so I think that's a good read for anyone who's looking to.
Yeah, honestly, some of my favorite books to read are like really old books. Like again, As a Man Thinketh, it's written in 1901. There's a book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, is written around that same time. The Power of Awareness. Like I like to go back to like all the information, all the personal development, all the mindset stuff is all just rephrased in modern experiences. But if you go back to like some of the originals, I like to go to the source, if you will. So I love some of those older books as well, but.
So the answer to the question is there's no fucking way to answer it. There's a bunch of different books you can read depending on where you're at, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. And
every book has different chapters and every human has different chapters and different chapters of your life. Other books are going to speak to you differently.
Depending on what you're looking to, what skill you're trying to accomplish or acquire.
Yeah, some of the books that I reference all the time, if you really want to like screw with your brain a little bit and think outside the box, there's a book called 7 Basic Plots by Christopher Brooks. He talks about every story ever told falls into one of these 7 basic plots. So every movie, every book you read, well, not like the self-help books and like those kind of things, because those are autobiographical. Yeah, the fiction stuff, all the narrative things, they all fall into one of these 7 basic plots, and he just kind of outlines everything. It's a very like pretentious read kind of deal because it's someone just like self-examining. But then there's another guy who, if you ever read anything by his name's Manly P. Hall, and just type Manly P. Hall. He does a lot of occultist kind of things, and he talks about that, but he also talks about spirituality and like soul stuff, emotional things, but it's a very like as a man thinketh kind of deal, and like that mindset. Like one thing that he said that just like threw me off is like praying is nothing more than just like an incantation. of you wishing something on someone else, which is a lot like witchcraft. And then I was like, oh, hold on a minute. And I had to take a second to think. I was just like, so wait, every time we pray, we're kind of like witches. So there's no reason for like Christian schools to ban Harry Potter, right? Because they're all practicing the same thing.
As you're talking, another book that popped into my mind is The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. I read that one several times when I was first getting started. And he's like a chess prodigy. And he basically became a world champion chess master, then got bored of chess, basically didn't have anything else to do, became a world champion like kickboxer multiple times, stepped away from that, and then he basically like became an investment advisor like to like top CEOs. And so he has this strategy of deconstructing things and basically teaching yourself how to learn incredibly complex things in a very like structured way. So it's really cool. He definitely, you know, there's some of those super smart type out there that I don't consider myself one, but they say like the meta skill is learning. Like if you can learn how to learn better, then in the world of information, you can consume and have a strategic advantage. And so he talks a lot about how to improve your ability to learn, which is a super interesting way to think about it.
I like the question. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. A lot of books. We'll put them. I'll put them I'll put it in the video description. So check out all the links. So many books.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
We over deliver at Live Bearded.
Yep. You don't just get 1 cent, you get 6. Oh, sorry. Was I talking about Live Bearded's immaculate products again? Silly that. Click the link.
What do we got next, brother?
Next, well, those are all the questions that we have for the community right there.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, amazing. That's 3.
Which
That's
means that we move on to our Do Better Dude.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, this next segment we're really excited about, and we created it really just because there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world, a lot of negativity, and we like to highlight some of the good shit because it's out there. It just doesn't get the clicks, doesn't get the eyeballs, so we like to find a guy that's out there kind of living by the values that we have here at Live Bearded, showcase kind of how he's making an impact in the world for the positive, and give him a little shout out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who we got this week?
This week is Alvin Irby. Sorry.
Alvin.
I got that right. Yeah. Alvin and the Chipmunks. No. He's actually a barber.
We love our barbers out there.
So Alvin grew up not having a lot of good black role models in his life.
Yep.
And he would go to the barber shop and he would kind of see stuff around and like, you know, he didn't have a lot to do as a kid. And he saw this need that needed to be fulfilled just because he remembered being bored as a kid. So he opened up his own barber shop and he tried to think of ways to engage his community. And he came up with the idea of bringing books into his own barber shop. So he brings children's books into his barbershops to encourage kids to read, bring them off the streets and everything. Because when the pandemic hit, apparently that was like the lowest literacy point in the U.S. with like kids learning how to read because, I mean, they weren't in school. And I can't imagine you can learn a lot from like a Zoom video, especially if you're in like first grade or something. Like I know
Can't
for
pay
me,
attention. Yeah.
yeah, for me, like I could not read in first grade. It was so bad. Like I had to have like a one-on-one tutor thing. And this is kind of what he's been doing with his barbershop. There's kids books there. And so as people are like waiting for their hair to get cut and everything like that at the barbershop, which is filled with a bunch of like strong male role models for these kids to see, then, you know, they're able to read books while they wait. They get their hair cut. They see like this nice, welcoming experience inside of a world that is probably dark around there. But he created this really safe haven and this really great opportunity for kids to come, learn to read. And reading is really what unlocks a ton of potential. Yeah. I mean, you guys just said a bunch of books in the podcast. Yeah. If you don't know how to read, you know, you don't have access to that, which is very true. Like when the printing press like happened in what, the 1600s or something like that, all of a sudden everyone had access to this knowledge. You could share it.
Literacy and wisdom or knowledge exploded, like the access to it. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Then the internet happened and happened even more, but kids still got to learn to read.
Yeah. I love this. I love that he's inspiring these kids to really learn to read or push themselves to read more. One of the things that I wasn't a big reader as a kid. I was super involved in sports. I love to be outdoors. And so I've had to kind of learn how to learn in a lot of ways and like actually like reading to consume and to continue to evolve who I am. And If I would have had more access or been pushed more to read at a younger age, I'm sure that would have come more naturally. And so I love that he's inspiring this. And it goes without saying, I mean, he's really just doing this to help serve his community and help support. And I guarantee you he's getting that tenfold in his support into his business, into his barbershop, because he's just adding value into his community. And I love seeing this.
He's rallied a lot of barbers into his shop as well that agree with his philosophy and this service that he's providing. So, you know, he's surrounded by people who want to be there, who want to help. And it's making the program work even better than what he had originally anticipated it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful example of a business that ties in a mission and a purpose to it, and not only does good for its customers, but I'm sure is doing great for the community. I think we need more examples like this in the world. So shout out to Alvin.
Yep.
Amazing job,
Great
brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I heard Taylor Swift is actually going to be stopping by too.
Well, Kelsey needs some work on that freaking porn stash he's got going on.
Does he have a
Is he rocking just a stash right now?
That's it.
Normally he's got a short beard.
No,
He
dude,
keeps
he's
it
got
tight, looks good.
just
Kelsey?
a short
Facial hair.
stash.
Hold on, we got to look this up real quick. What's the most current? September 1st? Oh,
no.
it is.
Yep. He's
It's
gone full
just a
stash.
stash. Not that we have anything against anyone who grows just a stash, but
It's fine.
He went from a glorious beard.
Yeah, I mean,
to
dude
just
rocks a great
stash.
beard.
I mean,
And
to each their
sad.
own,
That's
I
sad.
guess.
Yeah, I guess being live bearded, we can make fun of the stashes a little bit because beards are greater. It's best when you match the stash
With the beard.
like Spence.
Come on.
With a great beard. Or JR, you got the great little
Yes,
handlebar
dude,
going
he's got
on
it
too,
going.
man. I
And,
like it.
Here's a weird thing. Speaking to stashes, so I went to BYU, Idaho, and they have a rule there: you can't have a beard, like no facial hair, except a mustache. For whatever reason, you're allowed to grow a mustache. Which
Where did that stem from? Like,
I
I know
have
police departments had that policy for
Yeah.
years. That's kind of been around because mustaches. I
it
don't
had to
know.
have been something that came out from the 70s
Yeah.
or something that they just never upgraded the rule. But
Yeah, Tom Selleck, baby.
Tom Selleck set it in.
man, I grew a mustache. I mean, you can kind of see it. It was bigger in college because it was the only thing I could grow. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was
looks
rocking
good.
a stash
Yeah.
like you.
That's freaking awesome.
Oh, but yeah, I have had the mustache before. I understand the pain.
Well, again, shout out to Alvin and shout out to everybody listening. You guys are the reason why Live Bearded exists. You know, Spencer and I started this company 7 years ago, and it is unbelievable to see what has happened. And we have the careers and the jobs that we do here because of this community that supports us and shops with us. And so from all of us here at Live Bearded, I just want to give a huge thank you for not only supporting us, but spending your time with us today. Obviously, the time that you have is the most valuable asset and the greatest gift you could give us. And so thanks for spending a little bit of time with us today. Let us know what you think of the show. Drop us some comments, some reviews.
Email us at ask@livebearded.com.
Good, bad, and ugly. If you think it's
wanna hear it
terrible,
all.
let us know. And as always,
Live
bearded.
Live.
Beard.
Dude.
Wait, the
Beards.
Man.
that's what it was.
That's what it was.
But Live Bearded works too.